Hey guys, the Explorer of Horror here, the Horror Boy. Welcome back to some more reviews and getting to an actual movie review again. Welcome back to some more videos, and I figured since I've been watching these movies, why not start a franchise review? This is a franchise that I've never reviewed before on my channel, so I figured why not have some fun. It's been a blast so far revisiting these movies, and I still got some more to watch, so it's been awesome. But I figured why not talk about the Jurassic Park films. Now this is a 5-movie collection. Great price at Walmart. Very good deal. You get 5 films, all Blu-ray, all with features too, which is really good because usually when it's a big box set like this, they usually don't have features. But this has features plus HD plus digital. Just an absolute wonderful deal. Just hours. It even says right here, hours of bonus materials. So if you're a big fan of the Jurassic Park films, this Blu-ray set is very worth it. Very worth it. Because so far I've watched Jurassic Park and The Lost World, and not only are they stocked with features, but they also look and sound absolutely wonderful on Blu-ray. So this is probably the best way you can get Jurassic Park. Now, growing up, I really loved watching Jurassic Park, particularly the first one and the third one are the ones I grew up with the most. Just a couple of films that really can appeal to really everybody. I mean, it has this sense of wonder to it, this sense of... Because every kid growing up loves dinosaurs. I loved dinosaurs growing up. So watching this movie as a kid, I remember I watched the movie on VHS tape back then. Could have gotten it on DVD, but I was more of a vintage kid. I liked VHS better than DVD. This is how I was. I loved all the old school stuff as a kid. Like, I loved vintage tape recorders and video cameras and VHS tapes. I just loved all that stuff. And plus, the good thing about that back then was that you could get VHS tapes at the thrift store. And even to this day, you can get stuff for really cheap. So, it's good deals on these VHS tapes. But I got the old school VHS tape of Jurassic Park, which just has the logo that I'll be using for the thumbnail of this video. And I remember as a kid just being blown away by this film. Of course, today we're talking about the Jurassic Park films. Gotta start with the first movie, the classic. One of my absolute favorite films of all time, without a doubt. And that, of course, is the 1993 classic, Jurassic Park. Now, of course, this is a Spielberg movie, gets an 8.1 IMDb. But also, it's got a lot of other things to it as well. I mean, you got Dean Cundey doing cinematography. You've got IOM doing special effects. You got Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum starring, and as well as some other actors in there as well. But this is a big movie, man. I really watching this on Blu-ray. It still holds up. These effects hold up. There's only a few frames of CGI that to me look a little dated. Mainly during the day scenes. Like, if you look at the day scenes, you can maybe pick apart frames that are like, alright, that's CGI. But for the most part, for 1993, special effects, these are breathtaking on Blu-ray. Breathtaking. And I remember being a kid just loving everything about this movie. This is one of those films that's just such a perfect movie that I feel, even though they tried their best with the sequels, it's just a movie like Ghostbusters, where I love Ghostbusters too, but it's hard to follow up such a massive film like Jurassic Park. And I love Jurassic Park 3, and I also really enjoy Lost World, but this movie is just such a perfect movie. It's got everything you'd want. It's got its humor in there. It's got its action, adventure elements. It's got its sci-fi elements. A little bit of tension and horror in there. A little bit of that. A little bit of thriller as well. But the movie is just... As a kid, I used to just sit down and watch this movie and be absolutely blown away by the special effects and this world they create. I think this is the most best created world in the entire series. I mean, this world they create in this movie, this island, the characters, the logo, how they're making the Jurassic Park into a brand, and you're seeing the merchandise and the different dinosaurs, and it's all just filmed very well, acted very well. It's Got wonderful cinematography by Dean Cundey, who has worked with plenty of people, including John Carpenter. And Dean Cundey's cinematography is absolutely beautiful in this movie. And this movie's story is amazing. This movie's acting is amazing. This is one of my favorite films of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. And I know I haven't gotten into the story yet, but the story of Jurassic Park is so known. I mean, what more can I add on to the story? I mean, the story is basically you got this group of scientists. They've all been summoned to this island to investigate, not really investigate, but to kind of give their opinions on the island and kind of overshadow it. And this character leads them there because he's going to give them some money. He's going to fund their research and stuff. And you got characters like Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum, which does an absolutely wonderful job as this character, Ian Malcolm. This kind of, not really ego guy, but just this kind of laid-back rock star. You know, there's even a line of dialogue, I bring scientists, you bring a rock star. And Ian Malcolm is such a great character. So is Grant and Ellie, played by Laura Dern and Sam Neill. Just two great leads. The three leads are probably Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. Three wonderful actors. Big fan of Sam Neill, big fan of Laura Dern, and a big fan of Jeff Goldblum. So that really helps this movie. You've also got the rest of the cast, which is really awesome. You got Richard Attenborough playing Hammond. You got Bob Peck, Martin Ferraro, B.D. Wong, which I know he would go on to be, I believe he would go on to be in the sequels. Not really in 2 or 3, but I'm sure he was in Jurassic World. I'm pretty sure. But he's gone to be in a lot of famous movies as well. Yeah, he was in Jurassic World. He's also in Mulan, Mr. Robot. Great actor. Big fan of him as well. He's been in other movies as well. But they go there. Of course, the scientists there found a way to get the DNA from this mosquito that was put in this kind of fossilized sap, tree sap. And they have taken the DNA from the tree sap, kind of mutated it a little bit, and created dinosaurs. And the movie's about the island being shut down. You've got the villain of the movie, which basically he's this kind of this nerdy guy. You also got Samuel Jackson, Wayne Knight, Ariana Richard, Joseph Manzalo. But Wayne Knight is, I believe, the villain of the movie. Yeah, Wayne Knight's the villain. Another great actor as well. Samuel Jackson as well. I mean, great cast here. But Wayne Knight's character is going to take this DNA to these unknown people to sell it. And he gets killed on the way out. But on the way out of the park, he ends up shutting down the security. Dinosaurs get out. It's all about this race for survival. And there's just so much great stuff to this movie. I mean, the special effects, this CGI is absolutely wonderful. This is some of my favorite examples of CGI is in this movie, just because of how well it ages. And I was watching Lost World last night, and I was really noticing how Lost World's effects don't really hold up that great, and that's a 1997 film. And it's I think what it was is this movie doesn't totally rely on green screen and blue screen and CGI. It's a wonderful mix of practical puppetry, practical animatronics, of course, done by. The puppetry was done by. I don't think it was Stan Winston. I don't think it was. I think it was somebody else. I feel bad. I can't remember if it was Stan Winston or not. Also, you got John Williams doing the score. John Williams, of course, amazing, absolutely wonderful score. And John Williams is absolutely an amazing scorer. I'm trying to see here. I'm trying to see. Man. Oh. I'm trying to see. It's not letting me know, but the special effects were done by. There's a lot of names here. I'm not seeing the credit here. I don't know if it tells me right here, but you do have some wonderful effects. I will find out who did the effects for this movie. I don't know why I want to say Stan Winston so bad, but I have a feeling it's not Stan Winston. If it is, then Maybe it just goes by instinct in my head just to say Stan Winston. But the effects here are great, absolutely wonderful. The puppetry, the animatronics, the CGI blending, it all goes together really, really well. And I think that's what this movie is, why it doesn't age, is because it blends so much together. And it all blends together so seamlessly. You know, it all does its job well. The practical effects, the CGI effects, and I know that there was supposed to be stop motion animation with this movie. It was supposed to be more stop motion, but you know, I'm glad they used the CGI, because the CGI to this day looks good. It looks fluent. It looks really, really good. And I think the effects still hold up to this day. Sorry, I'm being kind of choppy here. It's just I'm trying to figure out who did the special effects. It is literally not telling me who did the special effects. I want to say Stan Winston, but I feel like I'm wrong there. I feel like the special effects weren't by Stan Winston. Maybe they were. But the special effects, just to say this, it absolutely Stan Winston effects. I don't know why I was second guessing that. It was Stan Winston and his group. Absolutely wonderful effects by Stan Winston. I mean, you got so many minds here. You got Spielberg doing an amazing job directing. You've got the writing. Michael Crichton, he did a great job with this movie. I know he did a lot of the dialogue, a lot of the witty dialogue and little sort of humor moments of the film. The action scenes look absolutely wonderful. The tree sequence where this just truck is falling down the tree, and there's a point where it almost hits Sam Neill, kind of ducks, and the tree, it falls in like a tree branch right here. Looks absolutely wonderful. The T-Rex sequence is my favorite sequence from the entire series. That whole scene when you see the T-Rex and how good it looks to this day in high definition on Blu-ray. Just seeing that scene and looking at this magnificent work of art. I mean, it's not even a special effect. It is a work. I mean, it is a special effect, but it is a work of art. It is absolutely a work of art. It just how the puppetry is done, how realistic it looks, how there's no choppy movement or kind of glitchy movement. It's a smooth transition. Absolutely wonderful effects in that scene. The CGI looks beautiful as well. And that scene just feels so much tension. You got the T-Rex pushing over the SUV or the car and then stomping into the ground, or where it comes to the top of the ceiling and it's a real practical T-Rex head and the kids are on the bottom of the glass pushing up. Great scene. I love the build up to that scene as well. Genius build up where the water puddle was just rippling and you see the cup of water rippling and you're like, what is that? I remember being as a kid, and it was before I watched this movie for the first time. This is the first time I was watching it, and when that scene hit, it was absolutely awesome. And as a kid, I was just like, oh my god, like it's flipping the car over here, pushing it off the cliff. They have to jump down, and Samuel has to save the kid. There's a great shot where they're all running with these dinosaurs to this open field, climbing the electric fence, and one of the kids gets shocked by it. The raptor sequences are really well done. Just an absolutely wonderful film, a masterpiece without a doubt, and that's why it's hard to make a sequel to this. I mean, really, honestly, I don't think they wanted to make a sequel. Like, Spielberg said he wanted to make a sequel, but I know that Michael Crichton, the author of the book, I guess he also did the screenplay as well. I know he didn't really want to do a sequel to Jurassic Park, but he was kind of pressured into writing the novel Lost World. Maybe that's a rumor, maybe it's not. I don't know if that's true or not, but I did hear they really didn't want to make a sequel. It was just kind of the pressure was put on because of how big of a hit this was. This is a blockbuster film. This movie came out in the summer and made a lot of money, and I can see why. I mean, it's a film that's iconic. everything to this movie is iconic. And I noticed throughout the years, they've tried to change it. You know, no longer Jurassic Park is Jurassic World. To me, it's still Jurassic Park. Like, this set right here, it says, oh, it's the Jurassic World set. Notice how I didn't say, oh, this is the Jurassic World franchise. To me, it's the Jurassic Park franchise. Jurassic Park. You know, it will never be, to me, I love that title, Jurassic World, but to me, I'll just always know it as Jurassic Park. I know that people hate the Spinosaurus. I love the Spinosaurus, but I did notice how they tried to say, no, T-Rex out of here, Spino here. Love the Spino, but the T-Rex is classic. I mean, what can you say about the T-Rex? Is classic. And I just simple title, just Jurassic Park, which I really can't hold this up because it says Jurassic World, but just Jurassic Park. Love that. Love the simplicity of the poster. Just a movie with a lot of magic to it, a lot of wonder to it. Great action sequences, great special effects that still hold up to this very day. And, you know, if I had any nitpicks, I would have to say it is a slow movie. It's over 2 hours long. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a boring movie, but towards the end of the movie, the pacing does kind of slow down a little bit. Not really a problem. It's a little nitpick. Another nitpick is that a couple of the frames of CGI are a little noticeable. Like, the first shot of the movie, when you see the dinosaurs and it's still a great scene. I love that scene. But there are a few frames where you can tell it is CGI. But that scene is absolutely classic. The "Welcome to Jurassic Park." That's classic. The lines. I love the humor in the movie. You know, where he's like, you see how Dr. Allen got out of the car and, you know, oh, now you left, now I'm here. I'm talking to myself now. I love that. I love, you know, life finds a way. Now, what you're doing is you're messing with things. You know, dinosaurs had their chance, and nature selected them for extinction. A lot of the character Ian Malcolm's dialogue is really memorable. Or when Sam Neill goes, you know, I don't know if we should have done this. You know, this is really risky. Like, I love the dialogue in the movie. Great dialogue, great characters that you remember. Ian Malcolm, Dr. Allen. You remember these characters. Laura Dern's character, the kid characters. Really, besides that's my only problem, like little nitpicks here and there, is a couple of the frames of CGI have aged a little bit, and it does slow down towards the end. But besides that, this is a perfect movie. Definitely for me, 9 or even 10 out of 10 film. Very, very well done movie, and it still holds up. Absolute masterpiece by Spielberg. But anyways, guys, what more can I say about Jurassic Park? And if you have not seen Jurassic Park, see Jurassic Park. You are missing out on one of the greatest movies of all time. See Jurassic Park. But Jurassic Park, 9 out of 10. 9 or 10 out of 10 for me. Great movie. The perfect film for the summer. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my review. And I'll see you guys in my review for The Lost World, Jurassic Park. See you guys then.